Herb, 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 Herb. Herb Cats. Will you turn up wired 1, please?
Thanks.
So we're going to start a little differently tonight. Good evening and good Shabbos. I'm sorry, did you speak? Good evening and good Shabbos. Oh, so you are awake. It's before Labor Day, so it's okay that we're all wearing white. Although since we live in Florida, we can wear white whenever we want to. And just so you know how important camp is to the life of our children, we haven't even begun the service, and one of my children is already hysterically crying. So, because she misses camp, not because we're singing about camp. Well, yeah, because she misses camp. So throughout the service this evening, you're going to hear a lot from Carly, and she has a microphone and she knows how to use it. And we're also going to invite Evan Taub up at some point to speak about camp. And in various different parts of the service, I'm going to take the microphone out to Danica and Akiva and ask them to share with you some of their favorite things about camp, because we really want to get everybody to sort of get a feeling about how important camp is. Notice that although I've been going to this camp longer than everybody else put together, I'm not going to be speaking about camp tonight, because I speak about camp all the time. So we're going to let the kids speak about camp. But before we do that, yes, Evan's like 25. He's still a kid. He's their kid. So before we get started with the opening part, which is the candle blessings, let's go around the room like we do every week and begin with simchot, happy things, wonderful things that occurred in the last week. I'm going to get to you last. Yes. Well, that's wonderful, but we're glad you're back. Welcome home. And we expect to see pictures.
On my birthday, we went to the Museum of Illusions in Orlando. It was a lot of fun. It's interactive.
Are you really here, or are you a figment of my imagination?
It was a lot of fun.
Excellent. So you would highly recommend it, is what you're saying. Akiva, you have a wiggly tooth. That is a simcha of sorts. Bacha? That is what you were going to say? In the back? Yeah? You have wiggly two teeth? You lost two teeth. Oh, that's why there's that big hole in your mouth. You mean your sister didn't hit you? She did, but not there. I know. Stop calling my name. I can see they're right in front of me. Yes. Sailor. You don't know. We can celebrate that too. Jay, did you have your hand up before?
I didn't, but I sang on key for the first time in my life earlier this week.
Was that in this service?
Well, in preparation.
Oh, well, a grateful nation thanks you.
My wife, actually.
I'm sure. Yes.
I started a new program at the Cohen Academy with the kids, and I have 3 of my kids here in town tonight.
Your 3 favorite kids, right? In this room, she can say that. Okay, Carly. Speak into the microphone.
I got cast in my school play. And I got a recognition from National Honor Society.
Wonderful. Well, now I would like, what?
I don't know much about the role because I just got cast in it, but the show is called Can You Keep a Secret? And it's a psychological thriller about
right up her aisle.
documentary style, and that's all I'm telling you because it's supposed to be all secretive and ominous, so that's all you get.
It's right up
give-
her alley, a psychological
I'll give you dates
thriller.
in a couple months.
Okay, so now I'd like to invite Sarah Clifton up to light our Shabbat candles on page 2. I'll hold the microphone.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
The goal is to do it without burning yourself.
Per Kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivano l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you, Sarah. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, Danica, what's your favorite food at Camp Coleman?
This is a hard one. The quesadillas for lunch.
The quesadillas for lunch. Or
Or the pizza.
and of course, at Camp Coleman, it's cheese quesadillas and cheese pizza. Well, but s'mores, that's not a regular food. This is just regular food. We now turn in our prayer books to page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Now, if you've never been to a Camp Coleman or any summer camp Shabbat or camp service, what usually happens is little kids from various different ages will get up and they will read something in between the prayers and the songs. Really, most people go to camp services for the songs and the music, but the little kids put a lot of effort into their writings. In this service, we're going to spend more time listening to the music, and we have a variety of different singers that we're going to be singing from this evening. The first was, you heard Dan Nichols from singing B'Tselem Elohim. Our next song this evening is I Want to Hear, which is a Nefesh Mountain favorite. I'm going to turn my microphone off so you can hear Jay and Carly.
Hey, I wanna hear somebody pray down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody sing. I want to hear somebody sing down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody sing. I want to hear somebody song. I want to hear somebody song down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody song.
We turn to page 15. And we read responsively at the top of the page. Adonai is sovereign, let the earth exult, the many islands rejoice. Dense clouds are around God, righteousness and justice are the base of God's throne. O you who love Adonai, hate evil. God guards the lives of God's loyal ones, saving them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in Adonai and acclaim God's holy name. Page 19. The voice of Adonai kindles flames of fire. The voice of Adonai convulses the wilderness. Adonai convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Adonai causes hinds to calve, and it strips forests bare. While in God's temple all say, Glory. Adonai sat enthroned at the flood. Adonai sits enthroned, sovereign forever. May Adonai grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. And we continue with Shalom Aleichem on page 24. There really is no fun camp version of this song, so we're going to sing the regular fun one that we sing every time. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, before we stand for the Chatzi Kaddish, Akiva, what is your favorite activity at Camp Coleman? I know there's so many to choose from. You can pick two.
Arts and crafts and Jewish cooking.
Definitely not my child. Arts and crafts, maybe, but Jewish cooking, you can teach us to cook. That's great. Jewish cooking. Say what? Oh, Mama Kotler teaches. That's right. Okay, please turn to page 26 and rise for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah B'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Muzan Kariv V'meru Amen Yehesh me Rabba Mevorach Le'olam ulal me'al maya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei Dekudasha Brechu Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'meru amen. Now, normally I would turn around here for the Baruch Hu, but we're going to stay facing you guys so that we can see each other this evening. And the next song that we're about to sing is written by Noah Aronson. And although it's not written on the page, we start out with Ya-la-lais. So you'll listen to Carly and you'll hear it. And then you'll just jump in when you can.
La la
You may be seated. Our next song is written by Noam Katz, excuse me. It's called Roll Into Dark. This is the one that we kind of tried to teach you a little bit last week. If you remember correctly, roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day as day turns to night. So, again, I'll do the hand signings because she's going to be singing. So, Roll Into Dark is the next song on your song sheets.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei yom. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Next time we do it, we'll get you guys to do this. Day turn, that's the sun. Day turns to night. Next time. Next time. All right, this next song is Ahavat Olam. The words in your prayer book are on page 32. But there are different words than what we're going to be singing, except for the Hebrew. So listen and then jump in when you can. It's on the song sheet, yes. But if you're looking at the prayer book, it's slightly different. What's in the...
You got it.
You got it, dude.
Ahavat olam b'Yisrael ahavta Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim otanu lemateta. Day and night show us the way, teaching us to number our days. When we rise and when we lie down, Ahavat olam, Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Am Havta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemateta.
Can I see that for a minute, please? You ready for a question? What is your favorite activity at Camp Coleman?
Ceramics.
Ceramics, and? You loved being a MAC captain, didn't you? No, she didn't.
Tie-dye.
Tie-dye. Excellent. Akiva, favorite food at Camp Coleman? Next year, I want to have more than my kids answering these questions. Favorite food? Come on, man. So you can say the salad bar. Do you want me to come back to you? How about your least favorite food? You like the chicken wings?
No, that's what.
You don't like the chicken wings. He doesn't like the chicken wings. I didn't ask her because she's singing. Okay, we're going to turn now to page 33 on the bottom of the page. Torah is what God has revealed to us and what we discern of God. Ideas and ideals, laws and mitzvot, our religious heritage. It unfolds our memories of Abraham and Sarah, of Moses and Miriam and the prophets. It is legislation and explanation, allowing questions that challenge, answers that inspire, all a quest for meaning. It is our way of life, a path for our souls, and the design for a better world. Please rise as we continue with the singing of Shema, page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. And because at camp we want everybody to participate as much as possible, we're going to do the Ve'ahavta this evening in English. So please join me on the top of page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Now, page 38. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. And before we sing the next song, which is in your songbook called Michamocha, Velvet Sea, and you see by fish, yes, it's that fish. They are all Nifty graduates. They're all Jews, and they did actually write this song. And we're going to sing it. It's on your song sheet.
I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. 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 I've been waiting in the sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the Mi Hamocha, Vaili Madonai, Mi Hamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Lo Ratehilot, Oh Sefele, Lo Ratehilot, Oh Sefele, waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the.
Yeah, that one kind of ends abruptly. Oh, look up there. Pay no attention to the little girl behind the window. Page 41 at the bottom. Salvation is the Jews' victory over human limitations, ignorance, or insensitivity. It is the conquest of sinfulness, of the evils resident within the self: pride, selfishness, hate, lust, cynicism, the deliberate rejection of goodness and truth. We continue singing Hashkivenu, which is also in your songbook. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu lechaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And we sing Yismechu together, page 44. Oh, I know it's so bad. I know it's my voice. I'm so sorry. Yismechu. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei Shavi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbe'u V'yitanku mituvecha Shabbat. Yismechu, Yismechu V'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Chemdat yamim ocho karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'chorei, oneg Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh v'reishit Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh v'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu, Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Turn in our prayer books on to page 46 for the Amidah. Please rise. Adonai, Sephatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekone hakol, vezocher chaste avot ve'imahot, umevi geula livnei v'neihem, leman shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch ata Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata rav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, So mech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata l'hachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechaye hakol, Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah, Baruch ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. So a couple of weeks ago, when I had Danica up here doing and Akiva opening the Ark doors for Aleinu, and I mentioned, I don't know, this is the night that you were home, and I mentioned that I learned something from the kids that night, because at camp, there's lots of choreography that goes on in the services. Carly actually just tried to get me to do the choreography with her. It is a camp service, but I learned a long time ago as a rabbi that I may not have to necessarily agree with all the things that go on during services, but I will get to control what I do. And when it comes to the Amidah, I don't feel it's necessary to put in unnecessary choreography that the rabbis didn't select, because there's no meaning to it. Doing like this and like this, it's just something that people do to keep focused. But it's not about anything to do with the prayer like the other choreography. So that's why I didn't do it. But the point is that, yes, that's Akiva. There is some choreography in the service that is necessary, that is part of the actual important parts of the prayer, like taking 3 steps back and taking 3 steps forward at the beginning of the Amidah, or taking 3 steps back and then bowing 3 times during the Oseh Shalom part of the Mourner's Kaddish. So if you see choreography that you're not sure if it's a camp choreography or not, if you ask me and I don't respond to you, or I say I don't know, that means it's not me choreography, it's a camp choreography. You can ask Carly or Evan or Danica or Akiva. But if you have questions about the other parts of the choreography, I'm happy to answer them as much as possible. We are going to now continue with Ritzei, the reading of Ritzei on page 56. And we're going to read this in English. Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. And we are going to continue on page 61. Grant us peace, not grant us peace. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever. For you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamavarech et Amo Yisrael Bashalom. We're going to take a moment now for our own silent thoughts and prayers, our own silent meditation. So a few summers ago at Camp Coleman, there was a guy named Charlie Kramer that came to camp. And he was not exactly the greatest hit to Carly's age group because at first because he got annoyed by them and basically yelled at them. And when you're the oldest kids at camp, you don't get yelled at, especially not by strangers to camp. But because he came highly regarded by another person who you'll hear about a little bit later named Spike, the kids at camp gave him a second chance, and really his music is amazing. We brought him out to Knoxville just before we left Knoxville. His name is, I said before, is Charlie Kramer, and besides the fact that he writes great music and he has a great voice, he's actually blind, and one of his songs is called Blind. He's not 100% blind. If you go to his website, Charlie Kramer, I think it's .com or something like that. He tells you all about it. If you were to hold your hands up to your eyeballs like this, that's what he sees, just what you see when you go like this. So he has zero peripheral vision. And he does a great program called Singing in the Dark, where he basically teaches you how to experience the other senses. And so he doesn't actually feel like he's blind. And he's actually pretty amazing. So this next song, Bring It Down, is not one of his most well-known songs, but it's his most Camp Coleman well-known song. So we're going to continue with Bring It Down - Oseh Shalom by Charlie Kramer.
Bring it down now. Bring it down on us. Bring it down now. Bring us your peace. Oseh Shalom.
Dimroma, Oseh Shalom. Dimroma, Uya Aseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Uya Aseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. Amen. Bring it down now. Bring it down on us. Bring it down now. Bring us your peace. Bring it down now. Bring it down on us. Bring it down now. Bring us your peace. Okay, we're going to take it down just a little bit now. We're going to turn our prayer books to page 253. We're going to take a moment to think of those in our community who are in need of healing, whether it be mind, body, or spirit. I invite you to raise your hand if there's someone that you'd like to include in our prayers of healing this Shabbat. Yes, Julie? Emily. Bruce? Joe? Do you have one? Grandpa Jerash. Page 253. Continue with the singing of Misha Berach. Misheberach Avotenu Mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Are you going first, or is he going first?
What?
Are you going first, or is
I'll
Evan?
go first, mine's shorter.
Okay. So Carly is now going to speak. I will tell you that I gave, these were the instructions that I gave to Carly and to Evan 2 weeks ago. I would like for you to speak for 5 minutes or less about your Camp Coleman experience. Evan, no surprise, sent me an email on Tuesday with his well-written and said, Rabbi, will you read over this and tell me what you think? And I said, it's wonderful, I wouldn't make any changes. I came to Carly on Wednesday and I reminded her about this. She said, 5 minutes?
I have a lot of stuff.
She's still in high school. Evan's not. So I'll give her some credit, benefit of the doubt, but she also had to rest her voice, and I don't know what that's to do with writing, but whatever. So she's going to go first, and then Evan's going to go afterwards.
I'm going to talk about my favorite memory from camp. My favorite memory from camp was in summer 2019. Every Shabbat following services, we have song session in which everyone at camp basically has a concert with a bunch of Jewish rock songs. From mosh pits to losing our voice, song session is the most energy all of camp has at once. Anyway, my cabin and I were finishing up dancing our last song, and we realized Oseh Shalom was not going to be played. We were devastated. We walked back to our cabin with our tails between our legs, humming the tune of Oseh Shalom all the way back. Once we arrived at our cabin, my counselor looked back at us and told us to make a circle. We sang and danced Oseh Shalom in front of my cabin at 10:30 at night. It was some of the most fun I've ever had at camp. I felt so connected to my camp sisters and felt like part of a community. We were all falling over in our nice white clothes, and we didn't even care. All we cared about was being together and the love we felt for each other. The girls in the story are still my best friends. They are my sisters, and camp is our home. Being able to be at camp with them every summer is the best part of my year, and I can't wait to go back to be counselors with them. Not only does camp help me see my new friends, it also helps me meet new ones.
I apologize if it's a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. My name is Evan Taub, and some of you may know me and my family. I was asked to talk a little bit about my experiences at Camp Coleman. Sorry if I talk too fast also. In 2004, my life changed forever. My parents took me to Camp Coleman and dropped me off at B1A, a small cabin filled with friendly faces of strangers. I don't remember much from my very first summer at 201 Camp Coleman Drive, but I remember a few things. I remember experiencing my first Shabbat at camp, dressed all in white like we are tonight. I remember being terrified of the murky lake water and all the inhabitants of the lake, not including the campers. I remember begging my parents not to leave on that first day. Who could blame me? Anything new in life is scary. Flash forward to the end of camp, and I was begging them once again, but this time it was to let me stay. In 2004, I had no idea what to expect to get out of my Camp Coleman experience, but what I got was 7 summers as a camper, 1 summer in Israel, and 3 amazing summers as a staff member. Each of my experiences with camp was unique, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. My first couple of summers at camp were very fun and enjoyable, but I didn't really start to appreciate camp until my third summer, the summer after my first year of middle school. My first year of middle school was filled with an interesting experience. To sum it up, I was the only Jewish kid in my grade, and it was known. I had to deal with bullying based on my religion and was treated differently by my peers. Middle school is tough for most people, but I feel like I had a little extra to deal with. And there I was, in a sea of people just like me, but I felt like an outsider. Every week, I would attend Hebrew school and get to enjoy some time with other Jewish kids, but then it was right back into the thick of it once the bell rang on Monday morning. I quickly learned to deal with my classmates in order to survive the grueling ordeal that was middle school, but it was not easy. The school year ended, and I was so happy to get away from that challenging environment. My parents once again dropped me off at Camp Coleman, but this time it was completely different. The magic behind camp really became clear. For all 28 days of my third summer, I would marvel at what stood before me. I was in a place where I wasn't judged for being Jewish. In fact, they were quite emphatic that we were Jewish as possible. We had daily services, said prayers before and after each meal, and would learn more about Judaism through fun activities. I didn't have to explain any of my holidays or customs. I was just able to be myself. That was the magic of camp, or at least it was for me. Without the anxiety of being different hanging over me, I was able to enjoy my summers with more appreciation. Camp Coleman became my safe haven, a place where I could focus on making pleasant memories and just be a kid. I would enjoy playing various sports, competing in our color war, and making different art projects. It was truly a great time in my life. In 2011, after my last summer as a camper, I knew I would see my friends again for the month-long Israel trip the following year, but I had no idea I wouldn't be visiting camp again for 7 years when I would return as a staff member. In the summer of 2018, I was fortunate enough to find myself able to return to Camp Coleman as a staff member. My job for the summer was sports specialist, a dream job for someone who loved sports and who loved Camp Coleman. I was getting paid to organize, supervise, and participate in a variety of sports for 2 whole months. It was a dream job indeed. The summer after, I returned once again to take on the role of unit head. My responsibilities were elevated, and I was to oversee an entire age group of campers and their staff. It was the first time in my life where I was supervising other adults. And there's a saying at camp, that a day feels like a week feels like a month feels like a day. That summer, it felt like 56 very long years. It was difficult being responsible for so much for the first time in my life, but I exited that summer understanding more about myself and my strengths as a person. I was set to return to Camp Coleman in 2020, but the world kind of shut down, so that fell through. I once again did not know the next time I would visit my second home. Then this past summer, I once again find myself with the opportunity to revisit camp and be a staff member. And just like each summer I've had at camp before, it was a different but amazing experience. This time I was a counselor for the Mahone age group, also known as staff in training, which Carly was one of them. These 17-year-old campers would spend their day learning skills and having experiences that would make them top-tier staff members if they decided to return to camp as staff. This past summer was by far my favorite at camp. The campers I oversaw were amazing, the staff I worked with was incredible, and I was spending another summer at one of my favorite places in the world. At the end of the first day of camp, I could feel my face muscles hurting from all the smiling I did. For me, this summer was not just a job. It was a chance to say goodbye to a place that is near and dear to my heart, because this time I really knew that I wouldn't be back for a very long time. I soaked up as much as camp as I possibly could. Each day, I had an hour off, and I chose to spend it playing sports, catching up with my staff friends, and I even made my first ever mosaic this summer. It was like I was a camper again, and it was heaven. My camp journey was a total of 10 summers. For 10 summers, I was able to spend time with my people. For 10 summers, I was able to escape the hot Florida weather. And for 10 summers, I felt very happy. It's all thanks to my parents, who knew the value in a Jewish summer camp experience. They both went to Jewish summer camps and knew the impact that it can have on someone. My Camp Coleman experience gave me a deeper understanding of what it means to be Jewish, and I know that any of our young temple members would have a profound and meaningful experience just like I had, if they choose to go. I'm so grateful to my parents that they decided to send me to camp. I don't know who I would be without Camp Coleman. Thanks. Shabbat Shalom.
All I can say to you is you're 25? 27, so sorry. As someone who is 20 years older than you and still goes to summer camp every summer, don't think your time is over. Don't think you're saying goodbye, because trust me, you never really say goodbye to Camp Coleman. And I'm proof of that. You can take the Evan out of camp, but you take the camp out of Evan. Okay. I'm not going to make a big push for Camp Coleman. That's not the purpose of this summer. Of this service. We will do that next year at this service, because camp registration is in October. And if I wait into the spring to push it, then all the spots will be taken. Camp fills up very quickly. So if you have children that are, I'm looking at some people in here. If you have children that are of age of Camp Coleman, I highly recommend considering it. There are 2-week programs this summer coming up. There are 4-week programs. There's 6-week programs. And of course, there's also 8-week programs if you choose to go both sessions. I highly recommend it. You can speak to the Taubes. They're also Coleman parents like I am, like Bacha is. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience, and that's all I'm going to say about that for now. So we are going to turn in our prayer books to, we're not going to turn in our prayer books. We're going to look on the bottom of the last page, of the next to last page. Jacob Spike Krause, the one I told you about a little months ago that I was going to tell you about now. He is amazing, and there's another Camp Coleman song leader named Jacob Fishman. He goes by Fishy. If you call Spike Jacob, he probably won't respond to you because everybody calls him Spike. If you call Fishy Jacob, he probably won't respond to you because he goes by Fishy. Well, this summer, Spike and Fishy wrote this version of the Aleinu. It is truly an awesome version. I think Carly is asking for Akiva and Danica. No? Oh, you do the hand motions. Okay.
They can come up.
No, they don't want to. Do you guys want to come up and open the ark doors? Please rise for the Aleinu by Jacob Spike Krause and Jacob Fishy Fishman. Oh, sorry.
To build the future, it's up to us to light the way. It's up to us to make tomorrow more than today. It's up to us to find the meaning. It's up to us to blaze the trail. It's up to us to push our limits. We will not fail.
Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu. Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu. Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu. Bayom Hahu. It's up to us to forge connections. It's up to us to lead the charge. It's up to us to stand united, 'cause that's who we are. It's up to us to start the process. It's up to us to lend our hand. It's our obligation to help leave the nation better than when we began. Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu. Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu. Bayom Hahu, Bayom Hahu. Bayom Hahu. Close the doors now. Please be seated. Yesh kochavim she'oram magia artsa rak ka'asher hem atzmam avdu ve'enam. Yesh anashim shazir zichram me'ir ka'asher hem atzmam enam od betochenu. Orot ele hamvahikim bechoshchat halayel. Hem shemarim la'adam et haderech. There are stars up above. So far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. This Shabbat, our congregation commemorates the yahrzeits of Leonard Rockauer, father of Robert Rockauer, Matthew Brand, son of Joan Brand, Helen Grassberg, mother of Susan Ahern, Sheldon Grief, brother of Harriet Brinker, Faye Webman, mother of Stan Webman, Minnie Block, mother of Elka Molliver, and Ray Topiel, mother of Alvin Topiel. If there are any other names that you'd like to add in our prayers of memory this Shabbat, please raise your hand. We rise together, turn to page 294 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam ol'olmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudasha b'rechu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata ta'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing as we say together, amen. And now I'd like to invite up our president for some announcements.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom to everyone. Just want to remind you, we are beginning to deal with the yearbook. Our directory, Julie Rockland, is here. If you have anything, questions, please get with her. September 10th, we have Dee Collier coming. She's going to do a historical rendition of Hannah. There's handouts out on in the lobby. Everybody should have gotten the High Holy Day schedule. I sent it in the announcements yesterday. Break the Fast sign up, please. We need people to sign up so we have lots of food. Also, if anybody has a shofar, we're inviting you to join us at the closing service of Yom Kippur to join in. So please come on. I just want to say tonight we had an error in our announcements. The ONIC is sponsored by Sarah Wilson. Bema flowers tonight are Rochelle Jarosky in honor of her birthday. Naomi Berman in honor of her birthday. Happy birthday, Naomi. Bruce Kaplan in honor of Barbara's birthday. Happy birthday, Barbara. Arnold and Mildred Ostreet in honor of Dana's birthday. Grossman and Young's family in honor of Annette Zuckerman, who is 99. Wow. Joan Brand for her two special friends. And again, Shabbat Shalom to all.
So before we conclude our service with our closing song, and I talk to you a little bit about the writer of this song, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, if you enjoyed tonight's service, and more specifically, if you enjoyed Carly singing as part of the service, please don't tell me because I know how wonderful she is, and she doesn't listen to me. And she doesn't want to feel like a performing bear, which sometimes she feels like when she comes up to sing in front of everybody, that she's like a performing bear. So if you really want her, if her voice brings some spirituality to you and helps you get into the mood of Shabbat, please tell her that, because then she'll come back. If I tell her that, she won't listen to me. Don't clap. Tell her that. Secondly, this guy over here, if you don't know who he is, you don't know about his history. If you were in New York in the 60s and 70s and you went into any jazz club, you might have heard him playing, because he is a phenomenal jazz, classical guitar player. This idea of getting outside of the box, getting outside of his comfort zone and singing hippy-dippy camp, Peter, Paul, and Mary type songs, folk music, that's not really his bailiwick. But yet, he is busting his you-know-what to get up in front of you guys to help us make the music, this congregation, different and more and better. So if you enjoyed having him, please make sure you tell him as well. As a matter of fact, Jay commented to me earlier this week that when he told Janet that he was going to do this, she almost had a heart attack because she knew that wasn't his thing. So please understand that for him to get up and do this with us tonight is a major thing for him. So please also give him lots of kudos. Now, our closing song is a song that was written specifically for Camp Coleman. It has become sort of one of the Camp Coleman theme songs, if you will. It's a song called Shine by Emily Groff and Laura Tessler. Laura Tessler just entered her 5th year of rabbinical school in Cincinnati. She's in New York, I believe, or L.A. She's not in Cincinnati. Laura follows a small line of Camp Coleman rabbis. There's not as many of us as if you went to Gucci or something like that, where there's lots of them. But she is adding herself to that line of Camp Coleman rabbis. And then Emily Groff is, I don't know if she's still doing it, but she went to Vanderbilt University to get her degree in music education. No, she's still in Tennessee. She was in Memphis. She was teaching. I don't know if she's still teaching, but she's a professional musician as well. And she was Carly's song leader for a number of years at camp. She's amazing. This is a very difficult song that Jay has really busted himself to get ready for this service. So I'm going to now turn it over to the two of them for Shine, and please follow along on the songbook.
I'll stand tall, stand tall, even when I'm scared to fall. I'll be loud, be proud, when I know I'm enough. Here at my home camp, Coleman, I cannot wait to show them everything that I can be with my mind, body, and soul. Just watch me grow. day and every season, and it's time for me to shine. We're one Kehila Kadosha, 'cause I've got me and you know I've got you too. Elohai Neshama Shena Tatavi Tehorahi Elohai Neshama Shena Tatavi Tehorahi Tehorahi. Here at my home camp Coleman, all together we'll show them everything we can be with our mind, body, and soul. Just watch us grow. We are here for a reason every day and every season, 'cause it's time for us to shine. We're one Kehila Kadosha, 'cause I got me and you know I've got you too.
Please join us in the social hall where the Taub family, any makeup of the Taub family they'd like, will be leading us in Hamotzi. Shabbat Shalom.
You're amazing. Thank you.